I am Master Guide Oliver. I am going to speak on behalf of Magdalena on how channeling is created, what is channeling and what it entails, and all of that needs to be said from above in my name or honor, and to facilitate change and growth for others, to demonstrate what is channeling exactly. So in my own words, my own perception, and that of human beings, I will speak on behalf of Magdalena here, and I will explain what channeling is on her behalf from her soul's perspective and my perspective for the highest good of all that are listening. And so it is. Channeling is an art. Above all else, it is a creative force. It is something you develop from nothing, from not knowing at all what to do and how to do it. And then you begin to learn the skills of what it takes to channel. So you evolve these skills, and then you come to terms of the wholeness and the experience and the fulfillment of channeling and what it is. With that being said, it is an art to be practiced. If you do not practice as an artist, it disappears on you. You fail. You get frustrated. And like any artist, you go through your own lessons of relaxation and letting go and trusting what comes through is your own natural ability and gift of who you are, what you do. And it all depends on your own commitment of self. The beings of light will not do this for you. They can assist you as much as you allow them, but you first must ask anyway. And so it is. And so to be a channel, you must practice and develop the skills that it entails or requires. With that being said, let's talk about what channeling actually is. Communication of the higher wisdom and realms is what we call channeling here in the higher perspective. It is a communication between human being and the being of light, or the being of higher wisdom, or being of higher realms, angelic kingdom, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, and all the names that it comes in, all the forms that it comes in, you can call it whatever you want. We, for the purpose of the channel, are going to call it the angelic kingdom and the higher realms. Master guides reside in the 12th plane of reality, meaning that if you're in the 5th, we are in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. We do come down a notch, quite a bit, to say the least. And you, in turn, come up. So we meet somewhere in the middle, but it's not really a middle, it's closer to Earth, but we do meet you in the point of precise soul reception. So in the soul realm is where we meet your soul, and your soul then thus translates or amplifies itself and brings you the information that is being transmitted. So we blend as one in the higher realms. In the 5th dimension, we come together and we blend together and we communicate through one another. You with me, I with you. And we do blend. We call it the higher realm chit-chat. But really what it is that we come together heart to heart and we love each other. And this translates into words and feelings and wisdom, and all we do is love each other. In the higher realms we call it love and we call it wisdom, but we really are just loving one another and taking care of one another, and nostalgia comes from that. It's the home frequency, and we blend together in a communicative connection, heart to heart. Does that make sense at all? Yes, it does. So in the 12th plane of reality, everything's very different. We do not understand one another. We communicate through the heart. Everything is done through the space of the heart. The heart is an instrument of the higher realms where everything within resides. And we speak through the heart and only the heart. We do not use our mind or body to communicate at all. We send waves of impulses of love, specific transmissions of love. We all each specify in some form of love or some kind of love. And different people will be drawn to different guides because they radiate different types or forms of love. Okay, so that's what you're tuning into when you're channeling. And yes, this very much translates into words and blessings and light language transmissions and yoga. And the exponential potential of channeling is infinite because the forms of love are infinite. And so the potential of this is, as it is, infinite. And so you're tapping into the universal love of the heart, really. Okay? So I just want to make that clear before we go on to the traditional explanation of what channeling is. Channeling is a form of communication with the beings of light. And there is no exception. There are many beings of light looking out for Earth because they want to participate in a human experience to help evolve and pass light through the realms of the evolution that is here. There's openings in the whole, and you are it. If you are a channel, you're an opening in the whole. And we come in through you to radiate love from above. With that being said, and with that being said, okay, I said that enough. So now we can say anything that we want because the momentum is so strong. So momentum is something that is part of channeling. In the beginning, it is slow and fast and slow and fast and slow and fast and slow. And then as you get going, it's like rolling a ball down a hill. It gains wisdom, momentum. It picks up speed, and it's much more effortless because of the momentum. So momentum is part of channeling. As you go on, not only during a singular channel, but also over the years as you channel, it will become easier. In the beginning, it's very impacted, it's very hard. It's like learning how to drive. Precisely the same experience. In the beginning, you get in a car and wow, is it ever overwhelming. Just starting the engine can scare you, right? So, with that being said, as you start to drive, learn the rules of what to do, what not to do, what is not safe and what is safe. It's not as dangerous as driving. Obviously, channeling is quite easy and you can always break it off. A car, physical and harder to control, but it is nonetheless the same concept. Eventually, with time, it becomes completely effortless. It becomes like second nature. You don't even think about driving. There are moments where you're not even thinking and you get to where you need to go and everything's automatic. It's like that. So over time, when you become the artist of channeling, this is how it is. Very effective in healing, channeling higher guidance, higher wisdom, and all of what that entails. So you can get very specific on topics. You can have the higher realms receive guidance or give you guidance. because it goes both ways. So what we receive from you is what we evolve into, and what you receive from us is what you evolve into. And so it's a two-way street. And don't forget that when you channel, we receive you as much as you receive us. And that is the truth. So we as guides do tend to pick our recipients specifically, because it is also an experience for us. So don't think that we are these infinite, untouchable, full of light, blah, blah, blah healers. We are balls of energy. We don't require physical body. We never really did. We evolved past that. So when you, in the future, thousands or millions years from now, evolve into the heart space that you are, you will no longer need bodies either. You will be just like us. You'll be able to see us, hear us, and physically, but you won't have the same senses. You'll evolve past that. This is just a stage in your evolution, and so it is. But we are here nonetheless, beyond time-space. And so it is. So it goes both ways. There's communication from the higher realms down, and from you to us. With that being said, we are also always listening to your requests, and so we answer in mannerisms. So we'll bring you wisdom and information even if you're not channeling. That's apart from the process of channeling, but I want to mention that because it is still higher guidance that you receive. Oftentimes we will communicate through other people, whispering words here and there, something that you pick up on or suddenly notice, something that distracts you, something you came across as seen as a coincidence or synchronicity, and so on and so forth. We communicate through many different ways. Television, we will point your direction in some way, or you'll wake up with a dream that really signified something real, and it will push you in the direction of right, and will push you in the direction of the highest good. And so we communicate this way as well. You do not have to be a channel to receive guidance from a guide. That's another thing we want to discuss in another video or channel. All the different ways, synchronistically, that we communicate. Oh, there's so many ways that we communicate with you. And so we pick our recipients. We want to emphasize this. We want to really drill this in. We do not just come to anyone at any given time. You can call on us, oh yes. That's another thing. You can call on us and we are somewhat available. We choose our experiences as you choose your experiences. Because when we come down to the lower realms where you reside, it's quite an intensive experience for a guide such as myself to come down to such lower frequencies for me and to rescue a soul out of the energies that are naturally here. Do you understand? So it's also an experience for us as channeled guides that we must come down to earth or to the fifth plane of dimension and deal with the energies that you have troubles with. And so it is. So we wanted to emphasize that. Not everybody will receive guidance from everyone. Not just like not all people are channels, not all guides want to have this experience. Not all beings of light. And so certain beings of light will be successful with certain channels and certain will not. Some of them you will be drawn to and some of them you will not. And that's how it is. There is a match. There is a discordance. There is a purpose to that. And we want to emphasize this purpose. So your master guide. So let's just talk about those who are a match to you. So in the heavenly realms, there is always a match for you. Not all of them are going to be a match to you, but there are strong, very intensely strong matched up guides just to you, whoever you are, because we are infinite. So there's many expressions of guides in the higher realms. We're like duplicates that serve different functions. We split like cells, we multiply, and so it is. In the higher realms, you can split off many different consciousnesses at many different times in many different spaces, and so we in turn can develop into what is needed into the higher realms and the lower. Does that make sense? There, the branches or the splitting off of an atom is like an explosion. And so eventually, as the universe expands, we fill in spaces. So if there's a space for love to come in, we will fill that gap if it requires a guide or that specific cell. Do you understand? I think so, yes. Okay, good. Confusing? Not really. You know what I mean, yes? When you are in the higher realms, you have the perspective of where is love needed. And eventually one of us as guides evolves into that space. Okay? So many guides fill many different roles for the many different spaces that are empty of love, devout of love. Okay, yes, good. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, what's my next topic? My next topic is actually about obligation and expectation of what a guide is and is not. So let's talk about what a guide will and will not do, or what is for the highest good in terms of guidance and guides, high guides, and what isn't. Okay. So let's just start with what isn't us. We are not psychics or mediumships. Preferably, we say guidance because we guide along the path of light of the soul of you or who you are. Okay? Okay? So, with that being said, we have a purpose, and that is for your highest good. And that is the purpose. So, we do not always fulfill all of your wishes because the desire body is not always connected to the soul self. And we are looking out for your soul self rather than your desire body. Do you understand this? This means your lower desires will not be fulfilled if they are not connected with your soul and your higher good. This is why when you have a guide and you ask them a question, but you say, I want for what is for the highest good, sometimes we change the topic completely and we do not answer your questions. Do you understand this? Yes. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Okay. Now, there's a purpose behind that because let's just talk about the soul purpose, okay? The soul purpose is to evolve past all the negative discrepancies and to come into one. So when you have one part of you wanting something, then that part has a choice of whether it wants to integrate with the soul or it doesn't. And if it's not on the right path, we redirect it, even if it wants something else, because that is for your highest good. So basically what we do is redirect you back to your soul, which is the source of love and light. And ultimately, that is what you're looking for anyway. You just think it's going to come in a certain form. And so you stray from the path of light because you feel that that is needed, or you come to terms with some sort of obligation or expectation of you, even though it's not for your higher good. So let's just talk about the new senses of planet Earth and the obligation and expectation. You get paid money to do things you don't like to do. This is obligation and expectation. But you must live, so you have to have money, you have to pay your bills, and so the cycle continues. However, eventually you will want to break away from the cycle, and you are precisely in that moment in time now. You are finding ways to find joy and earn money at the same time. And somehow it is happening for some of you. And both of you, as humanity goes, will evolve into this. You will do what you love for a living, all of you, including Sam. And you will move past this. You will always move past this. You will always, 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 in the history of the world, move past this. As time goes on, you will evolve past all your new senses, all your desires that are of the lower kind, and you will look back at the soul. You will come back to the soul. So, as guides go, this is the source of your love. Okay? So all of your energetic bodies, all of your desires actually come back to the soul when they are ready and open for love. And so it is. And so when we say, okay, we'll answer this stupid little question to entertain you. No, we don't really waste our time. We don't do that. We really avoid at all costs doing that because it's just a waste of time. Your source of love is back at your soul. And sometimes their approach is very different than what you expect because the form is so negligent, or so you're so used to the form. Like the way you make money, you're used to this form. If you need money, you go get a job, right? You don't manifest lottery tickets. You don't run away, go backpacking, live in the woods. You go get a job. So that's a form. It is not always for your highest good of the soul. And I will tell you that many of you are doing this. And that's fine. I say it's fine because that's what you're doing. So I'm not going to sit here and resist what is and what you are. But I'm just saying, for the point of the argument, the soul knows best. And so it is. With guides, we will guide you back home. That's why we are guides. Okay. So forgive us if we don't always answer your stupid questions. We really don't want to because we know it's not for your best. And we will do things that you don't even know to ask for. We will do things you don't ask for because it is in your higher instance. So let's just look. How many times do you feel like I know exactly what it is you need without you knowing? Many. How do you fulfill me? How does it happen that I fulfill you over and over and over and over and over and over? I don't know. You seem to know where you're going. What is it that I'm doing exactly, you think? I think you have fun, and I think that I think you bring a frequency of joy. I don't know if that makes sense. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. What is it that you're doing? I don't know. You're always pointing me upwards in terms of frequency. I don't know. It's hard to describe. You evolve my perception. You somehow show me a higher perception, or somehow evolve the subject, or move past it, or change my belief systems. It's like you feel good. A lot of the things of what you say feel good, and then the results feel good, and it kind of stays in my heart. It feels like love. You radiate love there. I found it. And it comes in certain forms. I guess it comes in words. So yeah, I guess what you're saying is precisely right. Okay, keep going. Okay. Oh, I'm good. Keep going. You make me happy, Oliver. Yes. So we do. We joyfully bring the frequency of upliftment. For the guides that are here, that are looking out for humanity, we are very generous with our obligation and expectation not. We remove all of that stuff right away. So we take expectation and obligation and deliver it to Satan. That's not true. No, but it is. We put it down to the lower realms where they're relieved, because we bring you up to the higher realms. So in turn, do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. We pull you up without having to do anything at all. Just with our love and joy and our offering of blessings. We offer you love, we bring you up, and all your problems disappear. Because we didn't expect you to stay down there while we're around. We point to the higher realms at all times, back to your soul self. And so it is. Yeah. What your soul self is doing or thinking or contemplating is what we present to you as a human being, because you are channeling your soul self into a physical existence. You're an extension of soul self right now. Okay, you projected yourself into this physical body, into this, to have many experiences, to experience life and love here on earth. And so because your soul self resides in the higher realms, okay, so do we. And so it is. But you then in turn can receive easily channeled guidance on many different topics, such as love, power, affection, raindrops, how to shop for grapefruit, and how to stare at the stars without having to know what they are, and feeling how overwhelmingly loving they are towards you. Things like that. Okay. So, with that being said, I am not the kind of guide like Abraham, for example, or the Star of David. I am unique. I am different. I have fun. I do blabber mouth a lot because I see the point in the point of doing that. Not everything needs to be taken so seriously, especially on this planet, when everybody takes everything so seriously that I could just throw up on them. And nobody wants to have fun unless it's drugs and partying. Oh, you're a little kid. That is the best time of your life, is when you're little. And then you forget who you are. Right, okay. So, anything else that you want to add to this channel before I go? Because it is time for me to end. This is as far as I can go in terms of the basis of channeling. Obviously, there's many different topics and many different nostalgic feelings you can explore with channeling, and answering questions can only take you so far before you become bored and lonely and want to experience something else. Because this is just a topic for the website, right? And for people who want to know what the basis of channeling is. And so it is. So now you've got it. Is there anything else that you would like to address before I go or move on to another topic? Let me think. Yep. What is it? I have an incredible bond with you. I don't think, genuinely, I could really explain it to people. And I feel completely in love with you, the higher realms, channeling itself, receiving guidance, and just being able to talk to you anytime I want. How do I describe that to people? How do I become aware of that in a greater sense, where I can share this with people? Because ultimately that's what drives me. My love for you and your love for me and our communication together, and all of that drives me to even do this at all. To show people how easy it is to channel, to teach people how to channel, to show them that their guide is possibly an invaluable resource. How do I project that? How do I show that to people, or how do I explain that to people? you are, this is Master Guide Oliver. I'm going to try to answer this question even though it's a hard one, because we are going to be fishing for words, the precise words that describe these feelings, and it's going to be nostalgic, I guess. That is the best way we can describe what you're feeling. Home frequency, yes? Yeah. The flow. Okay. So let's start. Let's begin this exploration of this question, okay? Go. The reason why you feel like this is because truth and awareness and self-love and a magical attitude towards this that you have comes from within. And I amplify what is already within. So it's not my love so much you are feeling, but also your own love towards self that you are feeling. Because if you could not feel the love towards yourself that you are feeling, you could not feel these feelings you just asked about and described. Do you understand what I am saying? Yes. So to determine how to explain this to people, we're going to have to dive into the soul self a little bit more. Okay? Okay. So at the core, or the basis of who you are, there is love. And there is a radiating infinite possibility space type love where you can dive in to the infinity space. Slow down. We're going to pick carefully the words we use, okay? You are going to use words that are not natural to you, but I want you to allow it anyway, okay? Okay, so speak slowly, okay? This is a practice, good practice for channeling. Okay. I want you to picture that you're in the soul self now. How do you feel? It's separate from everything else. And oneness and nothingness and blissfulness. Like there's a flow of love that is permanent and nothing is desired. There is just isness or something. There's a flow here that I can tap into very easily. But nothing is really... I feel like love. I feel like love. Like I'm in the flow of love. And I am the flow of love. Thank you. And so, because you are the flow of love when you are your soul self, you are infinite. And the flow is infinite. And we come into that flow and make it bigger. Guides will amplify you. I will stretch that again. They will amplify the crap out of you and the flow will become bigger and bigger. And everything that is not so apparent becomes apparent. Oliver, if a soul doesn't have any desire, how does it function on earth? That's precisely our point. You see, there's a connection between the two, and you meet somewhere in the middle, between the ego and the soul self. Okay. You come here in terms of body, physical body, and you have this soul self that is always in the flow of love, that has no desire. And then here in the lack of love, or the spaces where lack love, desire comes. And you fulfill those desires, those spaces of what needs love. You bring that flow down to the earth plane with you. When you tap into your soul self, all flow of love flows infinitely. Does that make sense? So you want to channel because you want to speak of the soul self to people. Not only that, guides have precise wisdom. We are amplifiers of precise wisdom. So you can ask us any different question and we will have these infinite answers. So, have I answered your question? Yes. Yes. Yes, you have. Okay, anything else before we move on to the next topic, if you will? How do I put this on the website? This is not really translatable. What do I do with that information? Originally, you're supposed to type this up, yes, but now you're going to have to adjust it. Make it shorter, make it smaller. Pick out of the channel. Pick what you want so that it looks pretty, however you want to do it. What would you recommend, though, Oliver? I would recommend posting the recording of this on the YouTube channel and then sharing it. And if people want to listen to what channeling is in the way that we explain it, because me and you are infinite. We have sources. I can ask this question of you every single day and you will get a different answer every single day. This is just one of the answers of what channeling is today. Between the two of us, we will have a relationship between us. And so it's always fun. We're never going to talk about the same thing ever in the same words ever. It's never going to be the same thing. It's always going to be something different because we like evolution. We like growing. We like learning. It's never going to be the same exact answer. We're going to point to the several things that humans want to learn. Okay, we know as guides, looking at so we in the fifth dimension can come down to the soul plane where all of the souls reside. Look at the whole of humanity and know what's in your hearts and what is needed and desired. Okay, so we're always going to do that. And you as a soul are connected to the rest of the souls selves. And so we see you and we see them and we see you as a whole and we see what you need, what you desire, what's best. And so we are always going to address those issues that benefit you in a great big way. Always. We're trying to bring evolution and wisdom to bring you higher, to give you more tools, more gifts, more love, more wisdom, more perception, more fun, more joy, more upliftment. And yeah, we have a great, huge impact on your soul cells. Okay, moving on. I think so, yes. So channel me as you will, okay? Also type up what you want, but I would honestly suggest just posting this video recording on YouTube and just linking it. It's the easiest, fastest way. And if people want to listen, they can listen. Okay? Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, so stop the recording and then we'll record something else or a new topic or see what else you want to ask, okay? Okay. Good. Good conversation. 40 minutes. Yay.